Welcome. I would like you to do this quick experiment. Imagine a Rivian, but you can get it for, let's say, $40,000. That's the dream, right? Well, by 2026, I know it's a little far off, but it's actually tangible, it's actually happening, and we're going to talk all about it today. Let's do it. Now, we've talked about this briefly in the past, but we have a little bit more information. We have a little kind of more solid info, at least about the truck version of Volkswagen's upcoming EV outdoor adventure brand they're launching called Scout. Now, you probably know Scout is a older brand that they're kind of rekindling in the spirit that like Maverick is doing, or Ford is doing with the Maverick and the Bronco, and you know the Mustang nostalgia they put into their Mach-E. You know that a lot of brands are doing this. They brought back the Blazer, Chevy did. I could go on, but you get the point. That's what Volkswagen's angle, that's hard to say, is here with their new electric truck and SUV lineup. Now, they look to be almost direct clones of Rivian's R1T and R1S, but they've announced recently that their target is to basically, clone them, make them off-road worthy, but then make the price very accessible. And seeing as how that it might be until 2026 until we can, order these or get behind the wheel, my guess is that, they could probably do that. I could really see within the next 2 or 3 years, the price point of these electric vehicles getting down to a point where you can get a nice mid-sized truck for $40,000. The base, of course, it's probably going to go up to, estimated here, $70K, probably within that window. But heck, I'd walk out the door with a, medium trim, mid-size electric truck for $50K all day long. Sign me up. So that's why I'm excited about this and why we're making this video. So we're going to carry into the things that we know about this in just a moment, but it's worth noting a couple competitors that are right around the corner. I'm going to throw in the plug-in hybrid market when talking about this because I believe Toyota, Nissan, Ford, Hyundai, I'm probably forgetting some. If you count the Gladiator, you could say Stellantis too. All of these are planned either a fully electric or at least a plug-in hybrid version of a mid-sized truck. And they're all, probably within that 2023 to 2026 range. So people are jumping after the success of the Maverick, which was a smash hit from Ford. Obviously, you've probably seen it by now. We've talked about it here a ton. You can get it in a standard ICE version, but the most popular version is the hybrid. Now, that's not a plug-in hybrid, but it's still very popular. It gets like 40 some miles per gallon. It's a no-brainer if you're considering a truck and don't need something full size or much bigger. So that's obviously been a hit. And then now everyone's jumping in line. Like I mentioned, a plug-in hybrid Tacoma has been rumored for forever, and Toyota, I personally think, is just nailing it with their plug-in hybrid lineup. Between them and Lexus, I'd say them and Stellantis and Jeep and all of them, Chrysler Pacifica, I could go on and on. They have so many plug-in hybrids between the two of them that they should jump at this chance because the world needs a plug-in hybrid truck that's maybe just a little bit bigger than the Maverick, something like a Ranger size, but something in that range. And all that to say, these guys got it. So the Scout, it's in the media cycles right now because they officially launched the website. They're hiring like crazy, which is all signs like this is really happening. I didn't count them all, but I scrolled through the hiring, infotainment engineer I see on there, just like all the inner workings of all the inner workings and the pieces are being put together to have a full product soon, I hope. I mean, on one hand, I'm like, great, they're doing this. But on the other hand, I'm like, man, if they're just now hiring some of these, Is 2026 too early of an estimate? I don't know. To get someone hired and building a whole electric vehicle for them, I kind of hope they take a little more time, but maybe they're just adding additional staff and they brought a lot over from Volkswagen, which is probably the case. Now, all the stars are aligning, though. If you just look at Volkswagen, for instance, they have a very attractive looking, not sold in USA, might I add, but a very nice looking electric truck already on the market overseas. We'll take a look at that in just a moment. But that combined with the ID4, the Audi lineup, there's great electric vehicles, and then even the ID Buzz that is very recently announced, going to be right around the corner where you'll start seeing those are all over the place. They have everything in place to put this out, relatively quickly. So the addition of some staff to fire this up and put some new design behind it, and a new platform, which they've mentioned they'd probably do. 2026 maybe isn't that crazy. So we said the year, we said the price, as I mentioned. Some were saying below 40K, but from what I've seen, it's actually 40K to 70K. They've just straight up said, think Rivian, but cheaper. So that is the whole plan, which I think is a great plan, by the way. And they're also going to do their very own new platform that's off-road ready. So earlier I mentioned they have everything in place. They have a great truck that exists, and they have electric platforms that exist for their ID products. But they're going to start from scratch with this, as we mentioned, with the new hires. So great. Can't wait to see it. And of course, we have an estimate on range, which is 300 miles. I don't know if they're just saying, probably 300, or if that's been thought out at all. It's hard to believe that. I'm saying this to say, don't take that as like a 150%, because obviously if they don't even have anything else built, they won't know. So that sounds like a shot in the dark to me. But if you look at anything else on the market right now, I would say in 3 years, if a truck for 40K can't hit 300, there's going to be a problem. So I think it's safe to guess 300. And the size, of course, which, as we mentioned, can square up almost exactly to the Ranger. Ford's mid-level. It goes Maverick, Ranger, F-150, and so on and so forth if you're doing real truck stuff. News sponsor alert. So before we get into this video, I do want to talk about my new friends at Liquid IV. As you can see, I've already opened and tried almost everything here. They reached out the other day and said, hey, would you like to try these and maybe put them in your video? And I was like, yeah, I do. So I was pretty excited for them to reach out, and I was like, technically they have nothing to do with the electric vehicles and stuff I talk about, but I'm really into like mountain biking, and it's great for after physical activity. I'd say there's a script and stuff probably that I'm supposed to read, but I'd rather just tell you my experience with it. Basically, I like how it tastes mostly, and it could even be in my head, but whatever it is, it's just like I feel better after having them. So I'm actually a big fan even before they reached out, and now they are, I'm talking about them in a video. So yeah, Liquid IV, if you haven't had it yet, give it a try. Acai berry, acai bowls, right? Acai berries. That one is pretty good. My wife likes that one. Classic lemon lime. That's my favorite, to be honest. It tastes like super Gatorade. These are also a new favorite. These are, what's their thing? Immune support. Basically same stuff. Their whole thing is like you drink one and it's like having 3 bottles of water instead of 1. And I'm like, sure, why not? I will say, if you have a heavy night of drinking, that's probably where these things, no, I'm not condoning that, but if you ever find yourself, maybe you're going to a bachelor party or something, that's where these things are clutch. You're gonna want to like pick up 2 or 3 of these and hand them out to the boys in the morning and be like, I got you, because I truly have seen the most effect from them there more than anything else. Anecdotally, of course. So I really like these ones. These are like a new called energy multiplier. 100 milligrams of caffeine, can't complain about that if you want a little bit of both worlds. But I'm just gonna give you my fully honest opinion here. This was ginger lime, and I was like, I love ginger and I love lime and I love them together. But this, honestly, I would just avoid this. At least straight up. I don't really like it that much. It's matcha is the main thing, and I'm not a big matcha man. I'm not a matcha. Never mind. So stupid. It's just kind of like a plant taste to me, but if you're into that, give it a try. These ones, though, boom. Anything citrusy I really like. Anyways, that's all I'm going to talk about here. If you want it, use my code. If not, no sweat. But Liquid IV, it's here now. The final thing to talk about is what can we expect inside? What can we expect design-wise? I'd like to point to the Amarok that they have overseas. This thing, I've only recently seen it, and I was like, man, why don't they actually have this thing here? Like, I love everything about it. It is gorgeous looking. It's perfect size. You know my gripe with trucks being too big for your everyday tasks. It's kind of tough. Like just navigating the real world can get a little tough. So I like the mid-size Ranger size, we'll say. So I think that's great. And this Amarok is that. And I really like the vibes of it. It's like I'd probably very close to a Honda Ridgeline if I had to guess, but not unibody. And the interior design is incredible. I have it on the screen now. This is a promotional video of it. It has a great portrait screen. It literally just kind of mimics a shrunk down F-150 Lightning when you think about it, with the gorgeous portrait screen, the giant front dash. Like, it really fits the vibe that's trendy right now, that I'm attracted to in a vehicle. So kudos on that. It's great, and I really just hope they take this and bring it here. Even as a plug-in hybrid, I think it would be a smash hit. Like, I really think it would be great. And while that looks amazing, I have to say, unfortunately, all we have to go on visually for the Scout truck are these two images. The first is the most recent. It's a leaked front-end look of the new Scout truck. And again, there's not a lot to go off of other than, a big approach angle. You could tell there's some clearance there. There's side view mirrors and roof racks and wheels and wiper blades. That's kind of all we got. We do have a very rough sketch that you've probably already seen a ton, but this is their estimate, kind of the vibe check, if you will, of the SUV and the truck that they'll have. So put those together, throw in your imagination, and you can kind of foresee what's going to happen here. So all said and done, I am excited, and it's worth wheeling this back a little bit and realizing everyone's on, all these manufacturers anyway, are on the ground working on what people want. And it's proven more and more and more that people do want to go electric. They want to go either full electric if it has a very good range and it's not too expensive, or they're very, very interested in plug-in hybrids. It's just a matter of playing that game of cost versus range on the plug-in hybrid versus what you're using the vehicle for. So if these all plan out, like I mentioned earlier, if we have a plug-in hybrid option from Toyota, if we have this electric truck from Scout that's affordable, all of a sudden the whole manufacturer game shakes up when it comes to selling trucks. And I truly think that could happen. And reeling it back, if Ford, who had rumors a while back where they were testing a plug-in hybrid version of the Maverick, if they can beat everyone again and be first to market, then the Maverick will just continue to crush the competition because it has everything we talked about, that price point, that fuel efficiency. You can't really call it range because it's not a fully electric. It's just very, very partially electric. But everything else, it's there. It's a hit. It's just, there's nothing else to say. It's a hit. I think the only complaint is people wish they could take everything about it and just, put an air pump in it and blow it up to, full-size work truck mode. But, we're not far behind that, I don't think. So that's where we'll leave it on this. Hopefully that you found this, kind of exciting, and just, I guess the biggest thing here is just realizing all the other possible vehicles that are right around the corner. I think we're in a very cool time. I know I say that in a lot of my videos, but I truly love the new the new possibilities that are released almost every day, it seems. Granted, maybe there's too many concepts and not enough pre-orders, but sometimes even those pre-orders need to maybe be dialed back. Anyways, at this point, I'm rambling. I'll end the video here. Thank you so much for watching. Please consider subscribing if you made it this far in the video. Perhaps you'd like more of my EV content. That's basically all we do here. We talk electric news. We talk about e-bikes sometimes. We talk about electric trucks a lot. We talk about electric vehicles. We do electric vehicle reviews. We do hybrid reviews. We do basically a little bit of everything. That's why it's called Everything EV with me. I know I'm the worst part about this channel, but the stuff we talk about, the things we do, that's worth sticking around for, I think. So, okay, that's, I'm done. Okay, bye.